What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serrano's Mobile Detail here in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. So today's video, hopefully it's not that long, but I wanted to talk about 5 things that has helped my business these past few years. And maybe if you just started in this business, I hope that these maybe tips can help you grow your business as well. And maybe if you haven't done this, give it a try and see if it works for you, right? So tip number 1, I think it's something that I tell a lot of people: just do your best. I know as detailers, we want to give the world to the customers, right? As detailers, I think especially when you're just starting your business, it's like you want to over deliver, right? If that makes sense. But just do your very best. Not every vehicle is going to come out amazing, if that makes sense. We're in this business to provide the best service we can, right? But what I meant by, we can't leave every car amazing is because there's times that we get cars that are just completely hammered, that no matter how much you spend scrubbing that one area, it's not going to get any better, right? So just do your very best, right? Provide the best customer service you can to the customer by only giving your very best, right? And I think some people say, man, I spend a lot of time on my details. And guess what? Sometimes it's because you're trying to just over deliver on a interior or on a exterior, right? So just do your very best, right? Don't spend too much time on an area that it's not gonna come out looking great, right? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is one that I recommend: is after you finish your detail, especially if it's an interior detail, I highly urge you to roll the windows down. Maybe you don't have to roll them all the way down, but roll them down just enough where the airflow can flow through, right? Especially if you're new. If you leave those windows up after you detail those cars, there is bound to have moisture build up, especially in the hot summer days. That car's gonna smell so wet, and at times it can create some little issues like mold growing, because maybe you didn't tell your customer to roll the windows down, and now this customer is driving around with not a wet interior, in some cases sometimes wet, but a damp interior, and all that moisture is just staying inside. So by you rolling down the windows down a little bit, you're helping the customer kind of, 1, speed the drying process, 2, you're eliminating that mold growing in their vehicle, right? So always do that. If you have not thought about that, please do it. If not, you're gonna get a phone call probably from the customer a couple months or maybe weeks later down the road saying, hey, you cleaned my car a couple weeks ago, I got mold, right? And then you're gonna be like, no, I detailed it and it looked good. But most likely those windows were up. And if you do, try telling the customer as well, hey, if you go out wherever you go, please just leave the windows down just a little bit. Just crack them just down a little bit. This is gonna help the drying process, as well as prevent moisture from building in your vehicle for the next, at least I'd say 24 hours, right? This way, that eliminates from any mold infestation or anything like that. All right, so we're gonna go to tip number 3. The number 3, I think, is the most important one in my business, and that's following up with your customers, right? Every time you do a vehicle, right, especially when you're doing an interior detail or an exterior detail, give yourself 2 days follow-ups. Always follow up with your customers, right? Because if you're not following up, it kind of sets you just like many detailers, right? A lot of customers love getting follow-ups, right? As for me, I give myself 2 days. I'll follow up with the customer. Hey, just first, just want to say thank you for the opportunity again. Secondly, I want to see how the vehicle's doing. Is there any issues, anything like that? That way, the customer can say, yeah, oh, everything looks great. Or if at that point there's something that needs to be corrected, they'll tell you like, yeah, this thing kind of came back, but it's okay, right? Or if at that time you want to fix it, then hey, give me till next week. I'll swing by and look at the stain, see if we can get it a little bit better, right? But always do your homework. When you look at this vehicle, you have to let the customers know what to expect, right? I always tell many of my customers, especially when dealing with some hammered interiors, hey, just know that some stains are dominant to come back up because they're so soiled into the foam that as it dries, stains come back. Not my fault. It's gonna happen, right? When you do that, you're already giving the customer a what to expect, right? So if that stain does come up, they're like, you know what, he did tell me that. So that kind of helps them just say, hey, everything looks good. Hey, the stain did come back, but you did tell me, so it's okay, right? But usually if the stain comes back, I'll tell the customers, hey, give me till next week. I'm gonna go look at it, and if I can give it another shot, I'll do it again, right? At no cost. Because at the end of the day, you want that customer to be happy. You want the customer to feel like, man, like this person really did his homework. This person really followed up with me. This person really cares about my business, right? I don't care about their money. I care about their business, right? I tell a lot of my customers, to me, it's like we're family, right? So I want to make sure that these customers know that they can count on me anytime for any detailing needs, right? And tip number 4, the fourth one is don't overpromise. I see many detailers doing this. Is they say, man, we're gonna guarantee that your interior is gonna look amazing or your money back. Don't do that. You're literally setting yourself up for, I don't want to say failure, but you're biting yourself in the butt by doing that. And you might be thinking like, how? Well, if you say that you guarantee that their vehicle is going to be amazing or their money back, guess what? Many customers, not many, I won't say many because I've never done this, but I've seen it happen where the customers grab onto that, where they say, if you're not happy, we'll give you your money back. And guess what? You get some pretty hammered interiors when you put that, your guarantee that it's going to look good or their money back. And those interiors are trash. And usually they'll say, man, I thought this was going to look really well. Now, guess what? You probably just did a free job. So try not to overpromise. Always just be as honest as possible with the customers, right? When I get real bad interiors, I'll let them know, like, hey, I'm going to do my very best. I can't promise you that all the stains are going to come out, but I can promise you that I know what I'm doing, and I will definitely try to make sure your interior comes out amazing, right? I've had many times where customers say, do you guarantee your job? I tell them straight up, I do not guarantee any of my services. I guarantee that I'm going to give you my very best. And I always tell them, sadly, due to the condition your car is in, you can't expect a miracle out of me. I love interiors. I tell them all the time, I've been doing this for so long, but there's always those times where the interiors they don't come out great. But that comes with knowledge, right? You get to know, one, your work. You get to know how well you perform your jobs, right? So I can say that when I get hammered interiors, I can honestly say that they're going to come out really well, right? I don't say they're going to come out amazing because I never want to say the word amazing because sometimes we fail. We're humans, and not everything comes out perfect, if that makes sense, right? So don't overpromise. And the last one, let them know that you're there, right? Let them know that, maybe every 3 weeks or once a month, you follow up with them. You say, hey, how you doing? And just, stopping by to say hi and wanting to see if you're needing any of my services, or, I have a hand wax special, or I have a maintenance package for you that you qualify for, and things like that. You always want to be in front of their screen, if that makes sense. You want to be in front of them. That way, they will never look elsewhere but your services, because one, they know that you've been following up with them. Two, you did an amazing job. And three, they know they can count on you whenever they reach out to you, right? So things like that is what I feel has helped my business. And at the end of the day, many of us have different ways, right? And if you definitely want to kind of chime in, leave in the comments what has helped your business, grow, or what has helped your business keep your customers. As for me and my business, for the past 6 years, it's been literally follow-ups. And I'm blessed to have a lot of the customers for 5 years, and they have stayed with me. They look for me for the details. They look for me when they scratch their cars because they know that they can count on me. So it's those little things that I hope will help your business grow, right? So I don't want to bore you guys anymore. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Be safe, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video.